sit down with various business owners and individuals to learn, laugh, and grow. Today's featured guest is Shaun Hutchinson. Shaun's background is what brought him to where he is today. Quite inspiring, he was entered into the foster system and stayed there until he was able to enter the military, where he was provided with the foundation for the skill set he still uses today, both personally and professionally, with his personal training business. Welcome, Shaun, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. So, do you want to dive right in?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Who is Shaun Hutchinson?
Well, you already said in the military, so I grew up in Louisiana, born and raised. Right after high school, I joined the military, served 20 years. I spent most of my time in special operations, mostly with the Rangers. To kind of tell people like what I used to do, kind of give them a little aspect of it, as some have asked them have they ever seen Black Hawk Down. Most people have seen it, and so it kind of shows the value of what happened with the Rangers and Delta Force back then. So so that's what I used to do as a Ranger, and I'm also an extra in the movie.
That is so cool. So, yeah. I love that. I saw the movie so long ago, but I would have to get a refresher, and I want to find you.
Yeah, that's good. I'll definitely tell you where I am.
Okay, but that's really crazy that that's what you experienced.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So why did you decide to become a fitness trainer after being in the military?
So fitness has always been a part of my life. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, and I was with the special operations, so I always had to be physically fit. Most people who are in that type of career think that they could be a personal trainer or something like that because they know that they can take care of themselves, but right. Obviously there's a lot more into that. So, but in 2010 I went to Exos, they used to call it Athletes Performance. They train highly elite athletes, and a lot of people will know them from the NFL Combine. So they train a lot of the college athletes going there to enhance their performance. So I went down to Gulf Breeze, Florida. I got to meet Brent Calloway, who's my mentor today. He's one of their sports performance guys down in LA, and he really inspired me to be a strength coach. So I actually was going to do that first, but then he told me everything I needed to do. I needed to be certified strength and conditioning specialist, certified, so CSCS, and all these other things. So I'm like, okay, great. I opened the book, and I'm like completely overwhelmed because I have like a business background from doing my college online through the military, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put that to the side, and I got certified as a personal trainer. Same association, so I knew it'd be kind of similar for test taking. I went to YMCA, volunteered to be a personal trainer. Like, you can't do that, you have to be an employee. So I worked there part-time, did in-home training. A year later, I started working at Equinox. And then I also, before that, I actually got my CSCS, so everything.
So how many years ago was this that you started?
So I actually got professionally certified in 2013.
Okay, and you also have your own business where you do private clients?
So right now I do private clients as well, so
awesome.
I am doing that on the side.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good feedback about you, so if you're looking to get into shape, Shaun's your guy. Not only for the strength coaching, but also I hear mindset and stuff like that, and that's a big part of this. How important is nutrition to you when creating a client's regimen?
Nutrition is basically the foundation of a person's regimen.
I don't want to hear that.
I know, first you don't. Nobody really does.
Speaking of nutrition.
Yeah, so let's drink. It's very good juice, thank you.
As it spills on me.
It's very critical, and I look at it as like 80-20 rule. 80%, if you do quality nutrition, everything else will fall into place. But a lot of people, it's hard for them to do that. So I like to focus on the physical activity portion of it first.
Okay.
If we can get on the select mindset of doing this every day specifically, then we start diving into the little things. Because as small as it sounds, like nutrition, how hard is it? I stop eating this, I start eating this. Mine, it's like really tough.
Once people start the exercising, see some results, start to feel better, then they're more willing to tweak the nutrition because they're already seeing the benefits and they want to take it that step further.
Absolutely. Like, you get motivated, you see value in what's going on, and then that's also another way to show trust too. So if I can show, because it's easy to show someone that they can get stronger or like they can get bigger, and so and once you do that, they're like, okay, I trust this person that they're going to show me what I need to do. So Because like when you tell someone they can't eat something, that's really hard, especially when especially when you're not there.
Yeah.
So you really have to have that trust. Like I know Shaun is there for me, and he's out for my best interest, so I'm gonna do what he says.
Yeah. Okay. A question I hear a lot of people ask is, should they eat breakfast before they work out or after? Personally, I take my aminos, go work out. After I'll have a protein shake, and then I'll eat. Yeah. What's your perspective on all of this?
Like, it all depends on the person and what their specific goals are.
Okay.
Usually, I would say if someone who's like, if their weight loss is their goal, you really don't have to eat breakfast before. Or like, people are getting up at 4 in the morning, getting to the gym. I train clients at 5 a.m. So they're not going to have breakfast.
Right.
So you can work out in the fastest state and be fine. Now, if it comes time where you're not eating breakfast or not eating anything and you work out and you're tired, you're fatigued, you don't make it through the workout, then we definitely need to have some quality carbohydrates and fats at least an hour or 30 minutes, a minimum of 30 minutes beforehand to fuel you so you can get through that workout. Because we want you to perform at your best. Basically,
customize it to the person, so call Shaun to find out what you should do.
Another thing, like if someone's like an athlete who is like a marathon runner, they definitely have to eat something before they do any kind of specific exercising. So.
Okay. What is one fitness goal that you have achieved that would surprise and impress us?
Well, I mean, there's so many of them, but no. So back in the military, I would say like my largest one was I was with the 3rd Rated Battalion, and I got recruited to be in one of the reconnaissance units that's still within the regiment. The selection process is very hard. The success rate is like 30%. So if 10 people are going, only 3 people are getting selected.
Oh wow, that's impressive. You impressed me.
So mentally, physically, everything you can think of, they have it, and they do that intentionally because they want the best of the best within the Rangers. So I was in Iraq at the time. I was going to go to selection, and I literally had 3 weeks before, like between going back home and then going to selection. So I had to find ways to prepare while I was in Iraq. So like I'm climbing upstairs, doing all kind of crazy things to get prepared. Because I know at selection I'm going to be wearing combat boots that I don't have in Iraq. I have desert boots, not my jungle boots. And I'm going to be wearing a 65-pound rucksack, and it's just intense. So I made it through it. I did my preparation how I could. I did the best I could, and I made it through the selection, and I was a reconnaissance guy.
Sounds like you're a beast.
Well, I try.
You are awesome. So I understand that's how you keep yourself motivated.
Yes.
How do you keep your clients motivated?
Well, that's a tough one too, depending on the person, obviously. Everybody's different, right? So that's why, like...
More generally, though.
So yeah, personal training and strength coaching. But, I mean, honestly, showing results, that's the number one way to motivate your clients. You do have the times where they have specific goals. Let's say we tried to lose a certain amount of fat in one cycle. It doesn't happen. You look at other ways of what that person did that maybe they didn't even notice.
Right.
So like I had one client who he was very overweight. He didn't lose any weight on the scale. He said he was doing everything nutritional wise, everything at home. But we did his blood pressure, and his blood pressure went down. It's no longer high. That's a huge win.
Yeah. So you find other measurements if the ones that you're initially looking at aren't. Showing the results.
So that way they look. We're still progressing. We're taking wins in other ways. We didn't get a win here, but we'll get that one later.
That's good. I like that. Can you tell me 3 essential exercises that you would recommend for all clients and why?
Yes. I mean, the ones that pop right out of my head, I would say, is the squat, the deadlift, and the plank. Right. So squatting, everybody bends down to pick stuff. I see people hunched over all the time. So teaching people how to do that properly. Deadlifting, I reach in to grab stuff all the time, right? So squatting is, we consider a knee dominant exercise where you're using your knees and pushing back with your knees, and deadlift's the hip. But the more important part is being under load, like having some kind of weight with you, because you want to maintain and hold your bone mineral density as you get older, because we want to have lifelong goals, right? So make that last. And the other thing is the plank. The plank is all about the core, like deep stomach muscles, your shoulders, your hips. You do those 3 things and it'll help you out a long way.
So next time we meet, will you do a demo for our viewers?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. All right. Why work out with you when there are so many trainers out there?
There's a lot of trainers out there, a lot of different approaches. I'm not the best, and I'm not the worst, obviously. But
Who says you're not the best? I think you're pretty good.
Well, so the best, exactly, right? So you know me, you know how I approach things. But when it comes to like certain aspects, so there's not one professional who is the expert, like the one expert for everything. Okay. So if you want to do something specific, there's an expert out there for everything. Everyone has their little niche. I would say my niche is like the way I motivate and the way like I approach, and you can depend on me. So like when it comes to Pam, like I'm devoting my time to Pam. Pam knows I'm always there for her. She can rely on Shaun.
That's huge.
And I motivate like exponentially, like you.
Yeah, you're a big motivator. So. You are very motivating, Shaun. Okay, so this kind of follows that question. There are personal trainers, and then there are personal trainers that are coaches.
Yeah.
Which category do you fall in, and what distinguishes the two?
Okay, so like you have personal trainers and like personal trainers that are coaches, or you could just say coaches, right? Personal trainers, if I go to like a gym and I buy a training package, I train with that person. I meet John. John trains me on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I see John only on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He puts me through a workout, and that's it. So that's basically a personal trainer. So we can go beyond and above that, which everyone should aspire to do, to give someone the best services possible. A coach, on the other hand, is a motivator, and they hold you accountable, and they're checking. Because if I'm only talking to you and seeing you for 3 hours out of how many hours are in a day or in a week, in a month,
yeah.
You know,
that's a huge difference. The accountability.
It's so important for that accountability, because it's so hard to actually like help someone if you're only gonna look at those times, because it takes a lot more than just strength training to actually help people.
So you engage, sorry to interrupt you, you engage with your clients outside of the actual session, which is where a lot of the work actually happens.
Yes.
Because of the diet or what they're doing when they're not meeting with you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so we're getting close to the end, just a few more.
Okay.
How you doing?
Great.
Okay, good. These videos are all about sharing. What is your #1 tip to the viewers on living your best life?
Okay, make sure that you know what you're buying. So don't take someone for their word. Ask them who they're certified through and what kind of education that they're using to enhance their abilities to help you. If someone's just like reading magazines, or they're not doing certifications, or they're not going to conferences, listening to other professionals.
So growing, bettering themselves, educating themselves.
Because that's the only way that I'm going to
Right, because otherwise they get stagnant, and you don't want a stagnant trainer.
Exactly.
Right, we want growth-minded. Is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked you?
Well, we could talk about like values. Like what
are your core values?
Yeah, what are your core values? I joined the military, and like the military had their certain values, like leadership, the loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. I take a lot of those with me now, and another one I'd like to add on to there, like dependability and empathy. Whenever I had a client down in DC, she was a widow, and I didn't have to do this, but I did it. Actually, I had her on Valentine's Day, and I brought her a bouquet of flowers.
Oh, that's so kind.
So that's who
that probably meant so much to her.
Absolutely. Every time I come back, she made sure those flowers stayed alive as long as she could.
That's really sweet.
And so that's what it's all about. It's not like she
it's
wasn't a client to me. She's a person, and I value every person that I meet.
I think that today in our world, it's so fast-paced, everyone's moving and going, and having people like you who offer that is huge, and it kind of reminds us of the way things used to be, and we can get back to some of that and connect. And it brings me back to my introduction of you, which was talking about the foundation and the skill set you got from the military, and you just referenced that, so it all kind of ties together. I like that a lot. That's really cool. So the last question, most important, is how can the viewers get in touch with you?
Well, right now the easiest way to get a hold of me is you can go through Instagram, Shaun, SHAUN.M.Hutchinson. You can direct message me there, or you can reach me by email at hutchy78, hutchy78@gmail.com. I'm in the process of starting up my official company here in New Jersey, since I finally made my home here, and so we'll get that running.
And make your home here, and are also training all the football players at your local high school, right?
Yes, that's right. I am also an assistant football coach at Park Ridge High School. And
Very cool.
I lead the strength and conditioning for their program, and they're doing well.
And would you work with people who can't come in and see you? Would you create programs for people, or do you really only want to work with people who will come in and train with you?
No, I'll work with anybody who needs me. I actually have a client in Switzerland that I've worked with for over a year.
Wow.
And they're seeing great results. And
That's awesome.
So if they just need programming, I can do that. Like, I work with that person on a weekly basis. We touch base. And then I can go to people's homes, or we can look at finding a facility. If they need more than just body weight type stuff, or if they don't have a home gym, we can find a facility that allows a private contractor to come in, so we can make sure we get their results.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I think after this interview, you all know why you should be reaching out to Shaun Hutchinson. We'll post his Instagram and his contact information. And thanks for watching The Juice. Cheers.
Cheers.
And thanks for coming.